If you think AI divide is just uses AI and doesn't use AI, you're looking at the wrong line. Most companies watching this video won't survive the next decade. Not because they didn't use AI, but they use AI in a wrong way. By 2030, it's agent native versus everyone else duct taping AI onto old processes. Here's what's coming and the 18-month window you have to reposition yourself. Right now, companies race to say, we use AI. ChatGPT accounts, chatbots, tools, everywhere. Wrong game. By 2030, we use AI. That term sounds like we use internet in 2010. Meaningless. The real divide, agent native versus agent bolted on. Most execs just nod along to this, saying yes, yes, yes to everything, but hardly anyone's acting on it. Agent native companies design their org chart, tech stack, and processes around AI agents from day one, not as tools, but as foundations. By 2030, AI systems routinely plan, negotiate, and execute work across departments. Up to 30% of corporate strategic decisions will involve AI participation. Executive co-pilots, scenario planners, and board decks. Picture a mid-sized company in 2030. Finance closing, hiring funnels, customer journeys, incident reports, all agents. Humans supervise exceptions. That's it. And this sounds powerful, but it's also very fragile. If you yourself don't own the infrastructure, you're renting someone else's nervous system, the AI nervous system. The winners won't have the most AI. They will have rebuilt their entire company around agents, and everyone else running 2026 playbook on 2030 world. And you have about 18 months before this stops being an advantage and starts being table stakes. And as we hit 2030, we're heading toward one of two futures. Nobody knows which yet. Copilot economy or automation shock. Let's look at scenario 1. Most workers are still employed. Every knowledge job redefined around supervising AI. You're not doing work. You're architecting systems that do the work. McKinsey estimates 30% of US work hours automated by 2030. Some forecasts say 30% of jobs automated, 60% significantly altered. And that's not 2050, that's 4 years. Some of you will manage teams that don't even exist yet, doing jobs you can't even name today. Now let's look at scenario 2. $1.3 trillion invested into AI creates the bubble. Mid-2020s correction. Weak orgs that didn't get ROI get crushed. Here's the weird part. Both future involves AI everywhere. Both involves massive productivity. But only one keeps the human in the driver's seat, while the other triggers an economic whiplash that makes the 2008 crash look gentle. The real risk? Mass skill mismatch. By 2030, highest pay goes to the people who can architect AI and governance. We might know which future we are by 2027, but you might not want to wait until 2027 for obvious reasons. Right now, everyone's obsessed with agents and AGI. Every pitch deck, every LinkedIn guru. By 2030, nobody uses those words. They vanish like cloud native or big data before them. Want to spot a company behind in 2030? They're still talking about their AI agents like it's something special. By 2030, agentic behavior, plan, act, adapt is baseline functionality, not a product category. Instead of selling agents, vendors sell vertical system, autonomous logistic layer, autonomous revenue ops. The capability is assumed. The domain matters. You get superhuman but very narrow AI, perfect biology understanding, global economic modeling, systems that can cook dinner but can solve protein folding in minutes or predict market crash 3 months out. We're building gods that can cure cancer but can't make a fucking toast. That is the actual future. By 2030, serious people stop asking, is this AGI? They start asking, what can this system guarantee in this domain and how can we actually control it? The hot words of 2025 and 2026, age like milk. Right now, companies use AI in isolated workflows. Marketing automation here, support chatbot there, separate tools, separate budgets. By early 2030s, this model is dead. Companies move to full AI nervous systems. Most CEOs love this. In theory, almost none have the structure to actually build it, except that one guy. We all know. We can't name him. AI doesn't just execute tasks, it senses, predicts, and acts across the entire business simultaneously. PwC estimates up to $15.7 trillion in economic impact from advanced agentic systems. That's more than China's GDP today. And it's happening in 4 fucking years. By early 2030s, some forecasts expects autonomous business units with minimal human intervention, agents on P&Ls within guardrails. 30% of corporate strategic decisions will involve AI by 2030. Board decks, M&A scenarios, pricing. Imagine a boardroom in 2032. Imagine half the slides generated by AI that analyze 10,000 scenarios that you didn't have time for. And CFO asks AI to stress test a merger live on that meeting. And that's not science fiction. That's Tuesday or a Monday or whatever your worst day is. Or your best day, depending on the scenario. The spreadsheet was to 1995 what AI nervous system is to 2035. No nervous system, you can't compete. Companies that are building it now, they aren't announcing it. For obvious reasons, they're just pulling ahead quietly. And right now, everyone treats regulation like a brake. AI regulation equals AI slowdown. By 2030, regulation shifts from brake to barrier. Big, compliant players gain massive advantage. The same people that are crying about regulation today will use it as a weapon in 3 to 4 years. Today's chaos, EU AI Act, US state laws, China's rules evolves into expensive, and the keyword here is expensive. Expensive stacks, but compliant. And expensive means barrier to entry, right? And by 2030, winner sells compliance baked in AIs, logs, provenance, safety layers, out of the box. AI literal compliance officer becomes a hot role. 6 figures starting. Designing workflows that are high automation and legally safe. It's the exact job that nobody wanted in 2025, but becomes the most valuable in 2030. If you can prove your agents are safe and auditable, you win markets that others can't even enter. In 2030, regulation isn't just paperwork. It's infrastructure, and infrastructure is a competitive advantage. Companies that are complaining loudest about the regulation today will 100% get locked out of the market in 2030. This video will age like fine wine. I'll keep it up. Let's come back to this video in 2030. Everyone asks, will AI take my job? Wrong question. 2030 question should be, will I be the person who designs and governs the AI that does my old job? You have maybe 2 years to make that shift. That's it. After that, the roles are filled, bruh. And here are 4 roles that dominate by 2030. First one, AI workflow architect, designs end-to-end agent pipelines inside orgs. Second, model risk and alignment officer, combines risk, ethics, legal, and ML literacy. Third one, synthetic data curator, builds and validates synthetic training environments. Fourth one, sounds boring, but I think this will be one of the most highly sought out jobs by 2030. AI union rep, negotiating guardrails and metrics for AI intensive workplaces. And I think it will be in every Fortune 500 company by 2032. According to McKinsey, STEM plus human skills hybrids, communication, leadership, design, our demand and pay spike by 2030. By 2030, the crisis won't be the lack of AI tools. It'll be lack of the people who know how to safely wire those apps or like those tools into organizations. We will have, and trust me, we will have more AI capability than we can handle. And nowhere near enough people to safely, responsibly deploy it. Average knowledge checker by 2030 spends more time in checking and shaping AI rather than starting or producing from scratch. Most interesting AI jobs from 2030 to 2035 don't even exist today. And right now, you have time to position for roles with no competitions. Don't ask if AI takes your job. Ask if you will be the one to design the AI that reshapes your industry. Someone will. Might as well be you or me, right? And here's what actually happens by 2030 and 2035. No hedging. Most mid-sized companies will have at least one function where agents do day-to-day work and humans handle the exceptions. Billing, collections, tier 1 support. Work gets done. You just don't do it. Around 2030, companies without an AI nervous system will feel as far behind as those companies without internet in 2000s. Not a little behind, extinct. And I'm talking about companies that look fine today. Good revenue, solid teams, but they're just gone because they can't or they couldn't make decisions fast enough. By early 2030s, AI agents will sound like Web 2.0. Your kids will ask what it meant. It'll just be how software works though. And by 2035, some orgs will run semi-autonomous business units, if not fully autonomous. Agents owning budgets inside constraints, and humans setting guardrails and goals. And it will work so much better than human-run units in this current world. And executives who can't stomach that won't be executives by 2035. By 2030, the talent crisis won't be lack of tools. It will be lack of people who can safely wire these tools into organizations. Makes 2020's software shortage look trivial. And these aren't science fiction, by the way. These are not. Infrastructure is being built right now, this very moment that you're watching this video. You're not just saying it because it's happening inside the companies that aren't announcing it. The 2030 divide isn't AI versus no AI. That is the comfortable lie. It's agent native companies versus everyone who thinks AI is still a feature that's bolted on. The gap won't be gradual. It'll be binary. You either rebuild your foundation or you didn't. No middle ground. Pick one of the future roles that I told you. AI workflow architect, model risk officer, synthetic data curator, and start learning those skill sets this week. Not next quarter, this week. Drop a comment. Which one of these predictions do you think will most likely happen by 2030? Agent native dominating, regulations as barrier, jobs that don't even exist. My bet is that these jobs will be highly sought out. 100%. It's 2nd of February, Monday, 9:48 p.m. of this recording. And mark this day. And come back to this video in 5 years. 100% those jobs will be the top jobs in 2030. You have about 18 months of advantage left. After that, you're playing catch up.